Welcome everyone to Hacking SvelteLab, behind the scenes of the supercharged REPL for Svelte. So, first thing first, who we are. Paolo Ricciuti and Antonio Sarcevic. You can find us on Twitter at Paolo Ricciuti or at Sarcevic Antonio. We are both full-stack developer and we both love Svelte and open source. So how everything started? Well, Svelte Society announced the hackathon, and we, as member of the Svelte community, were pretty hyped, like everyone in the community. So a small little innocent tweet about Antonio, who said who is down to team up, to which I replied with a cute gif of a baby raising his hands. And so in a matter of minutes we were brainstorming on things that we could do to help the Svelte community, because we are part of it and we want to help the community. So we realized that we both loved something inside the Svelte ecosystem that could have been enhanced. So we decided, and we realized that we both loved the Svelte REPL because it's Svelte one click away. It's wonderful for prototyping. You can share really easily. It's fast, it's lightweight, it's very cool. But it has some problem. For example, it has no TypeScript support. You can use lang TypeScript, but as soon as you use a type inside your script, it will error out. You can't have access to SvelteKit stores or method or hooks. And this is very important because SvelteKit is the recommended way to create a Svelte application nowadays. There are also other little things like no dark mode, which is crazy, no formatting, etc. And so we decided and we created SvelteLab. You can try on SvelteLab.dev. What it is, it's a REPL for Svelte, made for Svelte, with Svelte, by Svelte lovers. So it's very important because, first thing first, it's feature packed. So it has light and dark mode, it has code formatting, it has Vim key bindings, so I'm not a Vim user, but if you are, you can write SvelteKit blazingly fast. You can install packages, so you have the whole NPM ecosystem at your disposal. And also, very importantly, is SvelteKit tailored. So being made by SvelteKit developers, it's SvelteKit tailored, and so you can search the SvelteKit docs right inside your IDE. You have specific file icons that will tell you if you are inside a layout or a page or a server. It has SvelteKit root generation. It's just like the Svelte extension for VS Code, but inside your browser. It has a Svelte add, so you can very quickly, with this wonderful community maintained project, add integration to your SvelteKit project. You can even hide the config clutter, because let's be honest, we spend most of our times in the source folder, so you can hide all those bitconfig, Svelte config file once you have touched it. So let's take a look. This is SvelteLab. It's your typical IDE. You have your files, your npm script, your editor, your console, and hopefully in a while your preview. So let's just do something. I can create a new file, for example, a plus layout.svelte. This will obviously break the preview because we don't have a slot, so I can add a slot, and this will come back the preview. And now right here I can use emmet and import navigating from $app/stores, and then I can use my snippet to check if we are navigating, and if we are navigating, we are just printing a div. I will copy a bit of styles just to make it pretty, and hopefully now we will have a loading indicator when we navigate away from this page. But we need to navigate away from this page, so I can do Ctrl+Shift+P to bring this command palette, and I can create a root, Svelte Summit. I can create a page.svelte and a page.server, and I will have my files here, and here I will just await a new promise r set timeout r5000 to wait 5 seconds. And in my page.svelte I don't need the script, I just need an href to home. I will copy this, I will go to page.svelte and I will add a link to Summit, to Svelte Summit. I can even go here and Alt-Shift F and format my code. And now if I click Summit, hopefully we will get a loading indicator, 5 seconds, and then we come back to home. So let's say that I forgot how to load our load function works. I can search the documentation here, and this will open the official SvelteKit documentation. But also, for example, I can add one of these integration to my SvelteKit project. I can enable Vim key bindings. So now I have Vim. I can exit Vim with a click. Also, I can install a package. For example, I can do SvelteKit search params, shameless plug, is mine, and I can add it, and once if it finishes installing, I can just use it. I can export to zip, and I can start a new template, for example, a new project with TypeScript and Tailwind already set up. Very, very cool. And I can share my code. If it's not saved, you can share just a snapshot, which will create this super long URL with a snapshot of your code, but I can also save, and I can have this very easily to share URL, and I can visit, for example, my profile, and these are all my REPL, and I can change these, for example, and have another REPL open. So let's go back to the presentation, because the time is tight and we want to specify what were the main dependencies of this project, because obviously there is SvelteKit that we all love. We use GitHub as an auto provider, but also to share our code. We use Web Container API by StackBlitz. You should definitely check out, because it's a very cool project that allows you to run Node inside your browser. We hosted on Vercel, which was very, very sweet, because we had preview branches, very, very cool. Host on Vercel because it's very cool. And we also use Fly.io plus Pocketbase as our database plus authenticator. So what's next for the future? Oh, this is the wrong Back to the Future GIF, at least I hope. This is the correct Back to the Future GIF. And for the future, we for sure want to add proper support for TypeScript, because right now you can use TypeScript, but you don't get errors auto-completion, and we want to add that. We also want to add a proper way to open a GitHub folder or project inside SvelteLab. We also want to provide you for the ability to upload your files, for example, for assets. We have a lot of plans for the future, so keep an eye on. And finally, we want to thank you, everyone, because we want to thank, obviously, Svelte Society for organizing the hackathon, because it was a very, very cool experience. The Svelte community as a whole, because we had a wonderful response to this project from the community. We want to thank the Svelte maintainers and contributors, because it's for your work that we were able to do all of these in 2 months, and Svelte and SvelteKit are just wonderful. We want to thank the StackBlitz team for open sourcing the Web Container API, because it's a very cool concept, and obviously we want to thank you for listening to this presentation. Bye.